Notice here the power light is still blinking. I'm at my wit's end now. Arg! After almost pulling all of my hair out, upon closer inspection, you can see this solder joint here has melted and gone on to the other run. This is definitely shorted because I tested this out with my brother's shitty ass DMM here. Do not use this type of DMM for any type of high power checking. This is definitely not safe, but for continuity checks, this is perfectly okay. And you can see here, these two runs is actually shorted, and this run here is no longer connected. So I may have to repair this run here and remove this solder joint and reflow this solder. Here's a closer look at the solder joint. Okay, here's a closer look at the cleaned up joint. All those points actually are supposed to be connected together. I'm just going to reflow some solder over that joint. Okay, I've reinstalled the power supply in the Saturn. Let's cross our fingers. Here it goes. Yes, sir! And let's see if this thing... Man, I'm psyched. Let's see if this thing actually spins a CD. I only have an audio CD here. I'm gonna have to get myself a Saturn game. And let's try out one of these Madonna audio CDs. Oh yeah, it's spinning. Looks like that solder joint was just, I don't know, weak. I don't know, I'll explain it. I don't know why. The connection failed from one trace to the other. And it looks like the original caps was alright. But you know what? Now I know this thing has caps that'll last a long time again. I'm gonna go out to a retro game store here and see if I can score myself some cheap Saturn CDs. So. Owner, how you doing? And here's College Slam, which I scored from Game Zone.
Today's matchup, Crimson Tide versus Jayhawk.
Okay, time to tear this down. We've already taken out the 5 screws from the bottom. Take this connector for the power board off and can lay it down. This is assuming that you took this lead off for the door switch right here. I'm going to take the lead off for the right switch board. By the way, you can download a Sega Saturn repair manual, and they refer to this as the right switchboard. I'm going to use the terminology used on that manual. Again, this is for the door switch that connects directly to the CD board. This would be the power indicator board. 3 screws for the power board, 2 in the back. By the way, those were number 2 screws. This is number 1. The power board is a little bit tricky to take out. Slide it forward a bit or toward the rear, and this should be able to slide out. You can see the parts used are similar to the later model ones, except for the door switch here. and also the power indicator board as well as the right switch board. Also, we have this power board standoff included, but again, all in all, very similar to the later Model 1s. I'm going to try and preserve the layout here and keep as much of the original tape. Here's something peculiar. The see-through lid is only see-through from the edge, unlike the Model 2 Saturns.
You're watching the Sega-holic.
Here we have all the individual parts all cleaned. And a couple things to note. The lid switch plunger is very fragile, so be careful when reinstalling this. And also the oil dumper. Make sure this is the right setup. This side is notched. You can see where it sits into. It is symmetrical if you flip this thing around, so be careful on that. Okay, now we're gonna disassemble the bottom portion of electronics. You notice here I'm wearing some nitrile gloves. Nitrile gloves are ESD safe. Plus, I'm gonna use this so I don't transfer oils from my hands onto these metal platings here. These can stain with the oils from your hands, and you might notice, fingerprints and whatnot. Especially on the Dreamcast modem where you see this type of material. First off, we're gonna remove the CD drive unit. You can see here I've already taken off the screw for the ground strap. Now I'm gonna use a +2 JIS screwdriver. This is a +2 cross point to take off what Sega's repair manual refers to the top shield plate. I'm gonna leave this wire on here, so I won't take off the tape from these two points. There's actually one more screw on this top left corner. The identifying markings on the CD drive unit is an EMW10447-005E and an ENR-007. Here's a look at the boards that was underneath the top shield plate. This is what the Sega repair manual refers to as the main board, and this is the SH1 board. The SH1 controls the CD drive unit and is separate from the main board. Once you got the screw out that was here, there's tabs here, here, and here that should release the SH1 board. Okay, that's why it felt kind of stuck, because there's a connector here that connects directly to the main board. The only screw that was holding it down again was the front screw here. To remove the main board, the manual refers to taking out this screw, which was back here, that screw, two screws here, and what the Sega repair manual refers to the CD drive unit supports. You can see here the bottom shield is pretty clean. You can go ahead and clean this off and start putting everything back together. Identification tags for the SH1 board. Here is SH1 JA0027, and a main board is a VA0.8. with those identifying tags. Here's the revision markings for the bottom case. And here's a look at the bottom shield. There was a spill here and here. I took off as much of the rust as I can. And I cleaned this bottom shield off with some 99% alcohol. It's 99% isopropyl alcohol and is made for cleaning electronics. Again, it's plastic safe and leaves zero residue. Make sure the SH1 board is fully seated into the main board. Oops, I forgot this screw right here. Like it's never been opened. Okay, looks like the magic eraser did do a good job. What I don't recommend though is using this magic eraser on shiny surfaces like this. This is gonna make it really dull. You can actually bring the shine back, but you're gonna have to buff it out. It's gonna take a lot of work. And also don't use it over, obviously the wording here, it can probably pull that off. So all in all, I think it did a really great job of taking out the minor scuffs, but it won't take off like the major scuffs like here, you can see here, but all in all, it took out the majority of them on the body, so I'm really pleased with that. I'd like to thank all the subscribers within the past like 2 weeks. Looks like the channel has really taken off. Well, for my standards anyway, we're up to over 100 subscribers now, and I want to say thank you. Let this be a lesson though. Always check for like the really simple stuff like continuity across traces and all that. So I wasted some money on this on the capacitors, but at least all the capacitors are new now, so that's a good thing. And if you are looking to get yourself a Saturn and fix it, I would avoid getting any type of Model 1s. They're really more complicated if you don't pay attention to which one you're getting. Get a Model 2, they're much simpler to repair. Here it is, the final test, and you can see it's still working. See, shoots, peace.